Just steps from the beats and bright lights of Broadway, 21C Nashville is home to the Teal Penguin, whose combination of blue and green hues reflects the vibrant mix of arts and culture, musical, visual, culinary, and more that is growing daily in this exciting city.
We have a saying here that the only people wearing cowboy hats in Nashville are the tourists.
There's just this energy, this soul to this city that is magical.
It's a very welcoming, loving southern city.
It's this unique combination of big city and small southern town at the same time.
The rest of the world has sort of had this idea that Nashville must be like hee-haw, but there's so much more to it than the stereotypical image.
Nashville is now on the map for food.
Tons of great restaurants popping up.
It's exploded in the last 2 years.
Oh, the food's the best.
We just ate brunch. Nashville hot chicken. It rules the land down here.
It's like hot, medium, and fire. Most people don't even get the fire. They can't handle it.
It's always going to be Music City, but there's so many artists here of all kinds. The art scene as a whole is really unfolding.
There's tons of beautiful murals all over, which is great because you get your art fix just by driving by or walking by.
21C is really introducing kind of art as an experience.
And it's so much fun because I can go into the art museum and have a little drink in my hand while I'm doing it too.
A lot of people come here and they fall in love. They love the art, they love the food, they just love the overall experience.
It shouldn't be seen as just a country music city. Overall, it's everything.
Nashville is known for its friendliness.
Nashville's really encouraging. I mean, the people just continue to encourage you to do what you love.
Everybody has their own thing, but also everyone works together because that's what builds the greater picture.
You know you're in Nashville when the guitar repairman can whip your ass. Welcome to town.
21C is committed to sharing today's most dynamic art with our guests and visitors, to supporting artists at all stages of their careers, and to engaging and nurturing communities through the arts. Let's hear from some of our most creative collaborators on what it's like to work and play with 21C.
The new model of art and life being mixed together in this really integrated way is an important new model, because I think what you're starting to see are larger institutions realizing that their museum has to be something more than just a place to go in a very reverent way to look at art.
I think it's fundamental that we try to integrate art and life so that people don't see art as something that just lives inside a building or is contained to one part of the city. I think 21C really embodies and animates that philosophy, because as soon as you walk up to the front desk, you're already looking at an installation. Like, it's just part of the fabric there.
To go and see artwork at 4 in the morning is different than going at noon on a Friday to a contemporary art gallery. You have a different environment of how you experience the art.
I would bet that people who eat in 21C restaurants or sleep in the rooms or go through the lobby then go out into the real world and say, oh, look at that, that's just like that artist that I saw at 21C.
Art makes us look at ourselves. Art makes us think about who we really are. Art makes us think about what we think is important in life and what is acceptable and unacceptable.
It's important to be able to talk to someone at the bus stop or the Metropolitan Museum as a human being who's interested in looking at things a different way.
They go to art shows, they come here, they support our ceramic sales, they're looking at art, they're engaging young artists, they're giving lectures. They're very involved, and it's not a show. They truly want to take part and help the art scene grow.
There is a trust, and I think that trust goes both ways. You know, they're interested in what you're doing, they're really open to what ideas you have that you're going to bring to the table. And I've gotten a lot of opportunities as a result of people seeing work at 21C.
It's helped me grow my career exponentially over the last 4 or 5 years.
When I had my exhibition, they absolutely wanted me to be a part of it. It's rare
and it's great when it happens. And 21C certainly provided that.
This is where we meet artists, this is where we drink with artists, this is where we're brainstorming about exhibitions, and honestly it's the perfect climate to have those kind of creative, collaborative moments, and we do, and we take advantage of it. I'd like a parking spot, actually.
Institutions that are smart and forward-thinking and are fast on their feet are actually going to become more like 21C.
It really doesn't fit in. That's what makes it special. 21C is out front leading the entire art world, and I know that's a strong statement.
21C Nashville includes 3 artist-designed suites, offering guests a range of immersive experiences, the most interactive of which features both a music and an art studio. Sanctuary 21C is a collaboration between painter Sebastian Bremer and musician-composer Josephine Wiggs to make a space for living and creating. Bremer is best known for his paintings using archival family photographs, while Wiggs is the bass player in the band The Breeders. Sanctuary breaks down barriers between art and music, art and life, and artist and audience, as guests become participants, exploring self-expression, experimentation, and artistic collaboration.
I think the idea of it is to create a space which evokes a richer experience than your average hotel room. Having played in a touring band for many years and having spent a lot of time in hotel rooms, often all there is to do, you arrive in the hotel room and it's kind of blank, and all there is to do is to turn on the TV. But I think the idea of this space is it offers a more participatory experience. It offers you the opportunity to do something active rather than passive.
Is collaboration, is community a big part of what you do? It's just really easy. If you have a little amount of time and you need somebody to do, you need something done, but you don't exactly know how to do it, why not ask the first person who walks through the door if they have a suggestion? And who knows, they might actually have a drill in their hand, you know? And assuming that you know better is not effective. I really start to enjoy more and more that all the solutions that you need, or at least a solution, is right in front of you. And if you are not looking for perfection, then improvisation is key.
Like yesterday morning I came in here and the housekeeping, like, I don't know if you can see this, but there are these on the floor. And the housekeeping staff asked me if these were part of the installation of the room or whether they should sweep them up. So, you know, it's kind of blurring boundaries. It's like, is this part of the installation or is it trash on the floor? You know what I mean? And who knows the answer to that question? Who's going to give the answer?
I mean, everything is intentional in this room. It's just following a road. It's not entirely laid out yet. Yeah. It's not following a basic drawing plan.
It's like we know what we're doing, or we've set it up in a certain way, but tomorrow it will change. You know, tomorrow somebody else will put things away.
Sanctuary is a nice word because it means a holy place. It means a safe place. It means many things. But it's just a bit of a temple. And it's a temple to a particular sensibility, and anything goes. It doesn't really matter.
The current group exhibition at 21C Nashville, Fragile Figures, Beings and Time, examines individual and group identity through contemporary portraits that reference noted works from art history, connecting past events to current issues. One of the artists featured in the exhibition is Anthony Guaycalea. 21C's permanent collection of his work is the largest in North America. Guaycalea often uses figurative imagery to explore what he calls the in-between states of human and natural evolution.
How much do you give up of your own personal identity to assimilate into a group or an environment, and how much do you try to struggle and retain your own personal identity or your cultural identity or whatever the case might be. And so it is that kind of push-pull of longing to belong to something but also not wanting to be absorbed by it. I've always been sort of interested in how people perform when they're in large groups versus on their own, and how people are swayed by what happens around them. And just even in nature, like how animals will flock together and their behavior in a group versus as a solitary creature out in the woods is really interested to me, a sort of pack mentality. So I think that's something that's explored. I work in a lot of different mediums, and I feel like each medium serves its own purpose within my work. And the photographs, although they're kind of dreamlike, they are based in reality, and I feel like it's very difficult to absorb a photo or take it in if it's too far over into the realm of like fantasy, because then it becomes a little bit too sci-fi for me. So a lot of times I'll have ideas for things that I feel are better executed in drawing and painting, because there is this suspension of belief that you automatically give to a drawing or painting, because it is about fantasy in this made-up space. I decided to investigate my own family history, and so I started working from old family photos of relatives that had lived in Cuba, and a lot of them I hadn't even met. And it sort of fed into this idea of storytelling and family history and how things become exaggerated. I've always been attracted to things that have this dichotomy in a way, like things that are beautiful but grotesque, or things that, you know, attract and repulse. When I hear people refer to things as post-apocalyptic, it sounds a little bit dreary or hopeless, and even in images where there's a lot of chaos and destruction, to me they seem very energized and kind of beautiful because of the chaos, and I don't think of them as being the end of anything.